crafting journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Crafting and Crime. I had to bring you a Saturday edition this week. There is so much going on in the crafting and crime world. Yeah, lots of trials going on. And I want to show you, I don't think I've ever shown you this canvas. I bought this at the retreat from DP with Sparklers. I got stuff everywhere from last night's live. This is something I'm doing for my granddaughter for Christmas. And I've started just in the corner here, straight up color blocking. Yeah, but look how cute it is. So what happens is the outside is crystals, then the hands part of it is just regular diamonds. And then this middle heart is ABs. How cool is that? So it's a mixed diamond canvas. And this is available at DP with Sparklers. Yup, they sell diamond paintings now. Anyway, it is not an Alice, but I want to get it started and get it done for my granddaughter for Christmas because she's all about, you know, the rainbow. So let's start out with the planner, as we always do. All right, it is Saturday. I went into the Zoom last night and I successfully worked on some cross stitch. It was lovely. And then I took a break from that and just watched some TV and did some more crocheting. I only have like 7 rows left on my sister's blanket. So that should go very quickly. And then I'm gonna do, I think just for the edging, I'm just gonna single crochet around the edge in the dark blue because I don't have a lot of the dark blue left. I think I have enough to just do that. And then it'll be done, ready for the next cold snap. Okay, do you have a pen? Do I have a pen in this mess here? I gotta clean this up. I keep saying that. I straightened it last week and it's a mess again. It is. Okay. I could not pay my rent yesterday because the app to pay the rent is not working. So the landlord's like, I'll call you. I'm like, why don't I just PayPal you the money? Haven't heard from her. I don't think I've heard from her. Hold on. Maybe I have heard from her. I don't always check my phone messages. I check the social media, but I don't check a lot of the phone messages. No, she didn't call me. Whatever. Anyway, so Friday, what did we do? Oh, at Mickey's Live, we kicked off the mystery diamond painting. Yay! Mickey's Live mystery diamond painting. Okay, today is National Play Outdoors Day. Play Outdoors Day. And then we're going to talk about Abraham. I can't even spell Abraham Lincoln. Yep. And don't forget, tomorrow I do go live at 11 Central Time, but tonight we have to turn our clocks back. So it's going to feel so early when I do the show tomorrow. But if you can make it out of bed and you can join me, that would be wonderful. I think we're going to be, Mickey and I'll be working on the mystery diamond painting, and maybe Crashly will join us, which I doubt because it's so early. Like, we're turning the clocks back. So you gain an extra hour, but when you get up, it's super early. Anyway, so that's it for the week. Play Outdoors Day. Yes, so many benefits to playing outdoors. Yes, you can clear your mind. You know, it's just a wonderful thing. Like my kids, my parents sent me to play outdoors just to get me out of their hair. You know how that went. Go outside and play. I don't want to. It's boring. Get out. Yeah, that was my parents. Go outside. Because my mom had to watch her soap operas, you know. So you could explore hiking trails. if it's snowing, go make a snowman, go sledding, go, you know, if it's just fall like it is here, just go jump in a pile of leaves, build a fort, walk on the beach if you live in Florida, go for a bike ride. Or you could wait till tonight and you could try to identify the constellations. I would like to do that. Maybe I will do that. You never know. I don't know a lot of constellations. I know like the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, but you know, I can play around and figure out the other ones. Go visit a park. Today's a good day for that. So what are some of the benefits when you play outdoors every month? Make it a habit. That's a cool thing. It provides physical activity. Your heart pumps fresh oxygen into your lungs, in your brain. Not this stale air that I keep breathing in the craft room. Clears the cobwebs out of your brain. You know, helps with the stress levels. Yes. It's just a very mind-freeing thing. Now, the kids aren't going to, you know that. That's why you're pushing them out the door to go play. Like say, put down the electronics, put down the Wii, put down the Animal Crossing, and go outside and play. Yep. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yep. So you came here for Crafting and Crime. If you did, thank you for coming. Please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're enjoying the content. And then take him shopping at the Diamond Art Club site. Show him the gnomes, but tell him you don't have enough money to buy that one. Nope. You have to wait till next year. And please ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of Crafting and Crime daily. Because sometimes I do a Saturday episode and you won't know it unless you get the notification button hit. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. All right. I don't need a pen anymore. I do need this. Oh, actually, I am using my 15 placer. Yeah, because like I said, this is straight up color blocking. Where's the diamonds for this? Oh, before I start, Lion Brand, I have an unboxing. Yes, I do. So they had kits on sale. I don't know, a week or so ago, 35% off kits. So I'm like, I'm looking through it, and you know, in order for me to order like a sweater kit, which is what I would love to do, like a cardigan or something, and get it to fit me because I have big shoulders, I would have to order a boatload of yarn. So, but I landed on this one kit and I said, oh my God, this is so gorgeous. And I will put a picture of it right here, what the kit looks like. Oh, I'm going to start on it soon. So the yarn came in. Here's the yarn for the kit. Here it is, Mandela. Hello, hello. Hi, puppies. Hi, oh, bless you. God bless you. Good morning. Mandela ombre. Look how pretty the colors are. These stockings are going to be amazing. And this yarn, it's enough to buy 2 stockings. And I think with the 35% off, here's the invoice. It doesn't tell you what I paid. No, it just tells you what they shipped. But with the 35% off, I think I paid $23, and I'm going to make 2 stockings, one for me and one for my sister. Go for faux. Isn't that beautiful? And the color on this is Baked Alaska. Oh my God, it feels so good. But I'm not going to wear it. It's a Christmas stocking. Look how pretty is that going to be? Yeah. Not going to be red and green. It's going to be ombre with some pink in it. And then the other is the woolies. This color is Fisherman Blanc. Yeah. So it's just this, you know, it's combined with this, and then the fur on the outside is gonna be awesome. Yeah. So I am finishing up my sister's blanket. Still working on the temperature blanket. I'm working on a infinity scarf for my friend Danielle, and a nightcap for my friend Crashly, but I will fit this in because that's what I do. Yeah. So $23 for these 4 skeins, and so I opened the box, and no pattern. I'm like, where's the pattern? I need instructions. So I read the invoice, and it says it would have come with your, when they mailed you the confirmation, you would have got the pattern. Well, they sent it to my old email. So I wrote to Lion Brand, and they sent it to my new email. So I have the pattern now. Yep. I'm excited. Go for faux. Yeah. That's going to be pretty. Really pretty. And I have some other ombre. I could like switch it up. I could make one in one ombre, one in a different ombre. Yeah, I could. Now, where are the diamonds for this project? Oh, here they are. I found them. Okay. You're like, Rebecca, how many projects do you have going? Too many, just way too many. But you know what? I'm not stressing over it because they get done with it. If they get done after Christmas, they get done after Christmas. I'll say, hey, Malia, look, I started on your present. There you go. Want to help? All right, we're going to do the red. This whole strip, color blocking, one color, the entire strip. And there's two things of that color. And then each, in between each is black, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, let's talk about crafting and crime. First, let's talk about Markeith Lloyd. So I'm sitting at work yesterday, and I'm listening to the Ahmaud Arbery case, which we're going to talk about next. But, you know, Markeith Lloyd is the case that I covered last week. I covered the guilt phase. He was found guilty of first-degree premeditated murder of the officer of Deborah Clayton. He was found guilty of the attempted murder of another officer, and so on and so forth. Total of 6 counts. So, you know, I'm listening to Ahmaud Arbery, and all of a sudden I get a notification, which is the benefit of ringing the notification bell. I get a notification that the Markeith Lloyd is having a hearing. I'm like, having a hearing? They were supposed to start today on the penalty phase, which is where they bring the jury still sequestered because they were going to start today. They're at the hotel. They had Thursday and Friday off. Coming back today to start the penalty phase to decide whether Markeith Lloyd gets life or the death sentence. So I'm like, what is this hearing all about? Let me take a listen. So I turn it on, and here's what happened. The judge emailed the attorneys and said, I need you back in the courtroom. I have a ruling, or, you know, she let them know that she intended to let Markeith Lloyd talk about his eye injury. So she kept it out of the guilt phase of the trial because she felt like it was not relevant to whether or not he committed the murder of Deborah Clayton. But now she feels like it's relevant for the jury to hear, because at this point they're not judging what his state of mind was at the time of the murder. They're trying to judge who is Markeith Lloyd today as he's sitting in the courtroom. And they need to hear what these officers did to him so that they know, you know, where his mind is at this point. And what they did, you know, when he surrendered, he like got on the ground, crawled out there, and instead of handcuffing him and putting him in the back of a vehicle, they beat the crap out of him, and he lost his eye. Now, 5 officers were investigated. They had an internal investigation, and they were all acquitted. They were all cleared of any misconduct. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but that's another case. But so now the prosecution is like so pissed off. They're like, we're not prepared for this. If he's going to talk about that, then we have to do all of this work. I don't know what work they have to do. He said that they've got to read the entire file about the investigation and that's like 6,000 pages, and they got to figure out if they're going to call any witnesses and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to take us weeks. And the judge says, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call the jury back first thing in the morning. You know, when they come back, thinking they're going to start the penalty phase, I'm going to let them go home. I'm going to lift the sequester, and then we're going to bring them back on December 6th for the penalty phase. So you have the entire month of November to investigate, do your investigation, but you know, here I am going to let this in. And it's funny because the defense attorney kept trying to talk, and she looked at him. She goes, "Mr. Lenneman, you're winning. Sit down. You know, there's nothing you need to say. You're winning." Now, Markeith Lloyd was not in the courtroom for this. They didn't bring him in. So no penalty phase. The jury, when they come back this morning, they're going to hear, you get to go home, spend the holidays with your loved ones, and come back December 6th. So on to the Ahmaud Arbery case. So opening statements occurred yesterday. Now, I kind of like this judge. He can be stern, but you know, then when he smiles, you can tell he's like a good guy. But I think he's going to be very no nonsense, because there are a lot of attorneys in this courtroom. You know, you've got the state, which there's probably 2 attorneys involved there. You've got 3 different defendants, and you've got 3 sets of attorneys. Each defendant has their own set of attorneys. So there's like 8 lawyers in this courtroom, and a judge, and a court reporter, and a jury, and there's people. Markeith Lloyd's, I don't know if it's, I suspect it's his mother that's sitting behind, in the back row. Because yesterday, at one point when she was watching a video of him being shot, you could hear her cry out. And then, I'm sure she left the courtroom, but when she came back, you know, she had a tissue, and very emotional for her, really. But a beautiful woman, gorgeous, and she had a beautiful suit on, and yeah. So there's way more to this story than I even knew about. You know, I knew that it was, you know, these 3 men that had chased down Ahmaud Arbery, who was jogging, and one of them shot Ahmaud Arbery and killed him. That's all I knew. That was the extent of my knowledge. Maybe I could be on the jury. I could be fair and impartial. Before I heard the opening statements, because there's so much more to this story. So Ahmaud Arbery, 25 years old, lives at home with his parents. He is an avid runner, is what we were being told. He lived approximately a couple miles from where all of this occurs. It occurs in a neighborhood called Scintilla Shores in Georgia. In this neighborhood, one of the lots in the neighborhood was undeveloped. It was a construction site. There was a man named Larry English who lived up north, who was constructing this house for him and his family, but he was acting as his own general contractor, and he would come down and they would do some work whenever he could. So there were no trespassing signs on this partially constructed home. There was no fence around it. There was teenagers that would come in and take scrap wood and skateboard on it. And behind this home was a lake, a body of water of some sort. And Larry English had a boat that he would dock there. And at some point he noticed some things were missing from this boat. Some very valuable things were missing from his boat. Later on, we learn that they went missing when the boat was at another location, not here at the construction site. But at first he believed that they had been stolen from the boat while it was parked at the construction site. So he installs cameras there, and several times what happens is the the footage from the camera is when it's motion activated when a person comes into view of the camera. It's on the dock, it's in the partially constructed home, and then it sends an alert to Mr. English's phone, and he can actually see what's going on his phone. So several times it sends alerts to him in January, February, maybe even in December, where Ahmaud Arbery is on the dock. One time there's a man and a woman, a white man and a woman, they're on the dock. Another time Ahmaud Arbery, a couple of times he's in the house. Now he's not taking anything, he's just looking around. And Larry English is expected to testify that he never did anything, didn't damage anything, just looked around. That's all he was doing. And then he would run off. But what happened was Larry English shared this video with all of the neighbors. So they all got to see Ahmaud Arbery on camera, and he was like, "Do you know this guy?" And they're like, "No, he doesn't live in this neighborhood." "Well, if you ever see him, could you please call the police?" Okay, now we get to the defendants. Father and son, they live in the same home. The son, former Coast Guard, he was trained in how to, out on the water, he was trained on how to approach people and probable cause, and he could to make arrests, and he had all that power when he was in the Coast Guard. No longer in the Coast Guard. Father was a former police officer. "What are you doing, Tootsie? Stop that." Licking her privates while I'm trying to do a show. Ugh. So, former police officer, former private investigator for the district attorney's office. So both of them know about probable cause. They know about citizens' arrests. They see this footage, and so they're aware that this Ahmaud Arbery, they don't know it's his name, but they're aware that this black male has been seen at this construction site. And and at one point, the son, Travis, has parks his vehicle in a different location than in front of the home, and he had a gun in the car, and the gun gets stolen. Now, to my knowledge, that is going to be the only evidence of any burglary in this neighborhood. The gun that was taken out of Travis's car. And what they believe was stuff that was taken out of Mr. English's boat. That's the only burglaries. Now, we later learned that stuff didn't even come out of his boat in this location. So really there was only one burglary, and that was the gun out of Travis's car. So Travis is out front one day, and he sees Ahmaud Arbery running. And so he calls the police. "Hey, there's a black man. He's running. He must be running away from something. He must have just done something." So he activates the police. Then he goes in his house. Actually, it's the father that sees him. The father goes in the house to get his gun, and Travis gets his shotgun. So the father's got a gun. Travis gets a shotgun. They go outside, and they get in their vehicle. Now, meanwhile, the neighbor, he gets involved. He's like, "Oh, let me get my cell phone. I'm going to follow them. Maybe they need help." Because all he knows is that they're chasing a black man who must have done something. So meanwhile, this big chase ensues. Father and son in their truck. And this is the weird part. In that truck in the front seat was a car seat for a young child. And instead of removing the car seat, Travis just sits in the front on the car seat. And then they go after Ahmaud Arbery, and then they cut him off. And when they cut him off, the other guy, he comes behind and forces Ahmaud Arbery into a ditch, and on 4 separate occasions tries to hit him with his vehicle. None of that's on footage. Then we see footage from the actual cell phone of this neighbor as he's approaching, the whole thing continues and they're going different directions, and Ahmaud is just running. He keeps running away from him. Now he's trying to get away from him because he probably believes that they're after him. Obviously, they forced him into a ditch and they tried to hit him. So he's running away from them. They're chasing him. Again, they cut him off. The son jumps into the back of the vehicle and they're still chasing him. Now you see this camera footage, and it's on the internet. You can go watch it. It's what you see is the neighbor approaching on this road, and he approaches the truck that's stopped, and you see Ahmaud Arbery trying to get away from these guys. The son jumps out of the back of the vehicle. The father's in the back of the vehicle, calling 911 to say that they have this guy cornered, I guess. So Travis has the shotgun, and goes up to Ahmaud Arbery, and you see Ahmaud trying to get away from him, and all of a sudden you hear 2 shots, and Ahmaud goes down. So he was shot from the shotgun. Now, I don't know what was said between them. There was some dialogue, but I don't know what it was. I'm sure that's something that we're going to hear. The prosecutor stated that Travis said, "Stop, or I will blow your fucking head off." Yeah. So that's evidence that we're going to hear in this trial. Now, the state attorney points out that at the time they shoot this guy, they had no personal knowledge that he had committed any crimes. None. But they shoot him. So these men are charged, all 3 of them are charged with murder, just regular murder where you don't have to prove premeditation, just where you've taken someone's life. Felony murder, which is murder without premeditation, but it's murder that's committed during the commission of a felony. The felonies that they're charged with are false imprisonment, for cutting him off and steering him into a direction, criminal intent to commit a felony, and aggravated assault. So during the commission of the aggravated assault and the false imprisonment and the criminal intent to commit felony, they murder somebody. So all 3 of them are charged. So the defense gets up and they do their opening statements. The father's attorney, the son's attorney, the attorney for the 3rd man, the one that does the camera footage, opts to give his opening statement at the beginning of his case, which is an option that you can do. The defense can always forego giving their opening statement until after the state presents their evidence and closes their case. At the close of the state's case, then the defense has the option of giving their opening statement then. So that's what the 3rd defendant did. I suspect the 3rd defendant is going to move for, judgment of acquittal at the end of the state's case, and hope that they get it. They're going to try to say, all this guy did was film the crime. He did not commit any of these acts. I don't know if that's going to fly. Now, at the end of all these opening statements, there was testimony from the lead detective. There was a person that came on, an officer that came on, where we see body cam footage of him get his first arrival on the scene. He sees Ahmaud Arbery. We see Ahmaud Arbery. He's laying face down, blood everywhere. The officer goes over, rolls him over to see if there's any signs of life, anything he can do to resuscitate him. No one else has attempted to resuscitate him. No one else goes near the body to see if perhaps he's still alive and they can save him. Nope, they're just standing around waiting for the police. Amazing. Why wouldn't you run over and see if you could save his life? I don't know. Anyway, I don't even know if that's a point of contention. It is with me, because I'm a first responder. You go see if you can save his life. You shot him. Maybe he's not dead. Anyway. So then we see the ambulance pull up, the EMTs, they get out, and the officer tells them, no, there's nothing we can do. So I will bring you the lead detective testimony on Monday. Yeah. So that's crafting and crime. Yes. So interesting. No, I didn't listen to any of the Donald Hartung case. I'm so sorry, because I was so wrapped up with this Ahmaud Arbery stuff. It was pretty interesting. So let's see what this day in history was. On this day in history, Abraham Lincoln is elected President of the United States. That was in 1860, November 6, 1860. It was a very contentious election. He did not win the popular vote. He only got 40% of the popular vote, but he was running against a very split Democratic Party. There were 3 Democratic candidates, so of course he won, because you know how you do the math, right? So he wins. And all during the campaign, there were the debates over slavery. Obviously, Abraham Lincoln believed in the abolishment of slavery. The Democrats did not. He was Republican. So he takes office. By the time he's inaugurated, 7 states have seceded from the country and formed the Confederate States. And within a month of his presidency, the Civil War starts. Now, we know how that turned out. The Confederacy eventually gives up, and slavery is abolished under Abraham Lincoln, who is now known as probably one of the greatest presidents this country has ever had. And thank God he abolished slavery. Now, the people that he was running against, they were in favor of each district, or I don't know if they called them states at that time, but each district deciding for themselves whether they wanted slavery. Well, he's like, no, we need to decide this as a country. Again, you know, federal versus state. It's always been a thing here in this country. So that is the show for today, guys. It's Saturday. I'm going to enjoy the day. There's a 73 hour. It took me a few minutes to realize what the third 73 hours was all about, you know, the time change and everything. 73 hour Zoom going on for 24 hours of crafting. So within that 73 hours, you have to try to get 24 hours of crafting in. And then you can check in on the Zoom to see, see what your friends are doing. Like, hey, where are you at? Where are you at? I did some cross stitch last night, and I have to admit, I wasn't timing myself because I know I am not going to get anywhere near 24 hours. No. But it's fun to talk to my friends, you know. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Love you all.